Back.
And we're doing another video. We're discussing Phase 3 movies.
Sir.
So
Very excited. Very
we're
excited.
almost at the close,
Yeah.
the culmination. We'll talk about that. But first thing we're going to talk about, we're going to go in the order. We're going to talk about Captain America: Civil War, also known as Avengers 2.5. Kind of felt like that, but I think they did a good job
In a
of
way. Yeah.
making it. It was about Captain America,
Yeah. It's
but they
kind
have
of
supporting characters.
like calling it Avengers 2.5 because one of the complaints, I mean, if you could say there was a complaint about the first Avengers movie,
Mhm.
was that it was a kind of an Iron Man kind of led movie, I
Mm.
guess you could say. But like this one was more of a Cap. I mean, obviously it's a Captain America movie, so
Yeah.
it's going to follow his story. But also you have all the Avengers in there, so it's sort of the same thing in a way as the first Avengers being Iron Man, but this one being Captain America: Civil War.
Mm. And they really did do a good job
Oh yeah,
of planting the seeds of turmoil between Steve Rogers and Tony Stark because they argued in the first Avengers and they argued
yeah.
in the second one.
You could see it from back in from a few years ago where there's like, hey, these guys, they're not. I mean, they like each other, obviously. I mean,
But they get at odds.
yeah, they they fight more than any of the other Avengers fight between another.
Yeah. And one of the things about Civil War is maybe the most impressive thing is that it didn't fail with so many characters, and it still told an awesome story.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because I mean, you see that with a lot of movies, like a lot like um, Spider-Man 3
Hmm.
had a ton of character, too many villains,
Yeah.
too many just too many characters in general, and it was an awful movie.
And emo Toby Maguire, he wasn't even emo. It would have made sense if he was just more just like despondent, sad, angry, but he
Yeah.
really was just like a cocky jerk.
Yeah.
It just that ruined the whole movie.
But
Um,
but going back to saying how the movie didn't fail was
mhm.
being so many characters. That makes me excited about the two new Avengers movies that the Russos will direct.
So we know they can handle it.
Yeah, they'll be able to handle. I mean, I don't know if there really will be 68 characters, but
No, it's going to be the main guys,
yeah, maybe.
main heroes.
And they want to say that the movies are two different, I guess, standalone films.
Yeah.
But I still, I mean,
Well,
they're gonna play off each other because they start
yeah,
filming.
they have to.
They start filming the first one or whatever. They start filming it in, I think it's November of this year,
Okay.
and they're supposed to film both movies back to back.
Yeah, that's because they're starting really early.
Yeah, so that will probably be a 9 month shoot.
Yeah.
So I mean, they have the storyline has to be connected in a way
Yeah.
because there's a movie in between that one, like the first Avengers, and there's another movie, and I think it's Captain Marvel, and then it's
And
the
Ant-Man
second
and
one.
Wasp.
Oh yeah, that's okay. Yeah, it is both of them.
So I think I mean, Captain Marvel, they'll need her. She'll definitely join that fight, I think.
Oh yeah,
Against Thanos.
and I mean, I don't know. I don't know if they'll. I don't think they would bring her in. Maybe like the first Avengers movie. I think they were going to wait till her solo movie.
Oh, for
But
sure. Just like Wasp, they thought about bringing her in Civil War, but
yeah,
they didn't want that to be her introduction as a hero.
yeah, that's
Wanted to
what.
be their
Yeah,
own because
yeah,
it's Ant-Man and the Wasp. She's in the title.
yeah, yeah. Kevin Feige made it clear that she deserves to have her introduction in a Ant Man and Wasp movie
Hmm.
instead of Civil War.
The and another thing about Civil War, I'm a big Iron Man guy.
Yeah.
I saw the first Iron Man 6 times in theaters, and you see I have my out back there, as well as other paraphernalia. But I was obviously Team Iron Man.
Yeah.
But then I saw a trailer, and I mean, obviously the movie.
Yeah.
Captain America says, there's going to be a time when we want to go somewhere, we need to, and we can't.
Hmm.
People will die. And I was like, I think I'm Team Captain America. That makes sense.
Or they send us somewhere where we're not really needed.
Yeah. And another thing, but you feel you understand Tony too. He's very emotionally driven.
Yeah.
And you know what's happened to him, and so that's what leads to his decision making.
Yeah, the movie did a really good job of that because I mean, you could have watched the trailers and you could have been like, "Oh, Iron Man, Tony Stark, no, screw him. I don't. He's stupid. Team Cap all the way. Tony Stark's a jerk." And it's like, but if you watch the movie and like, especially that scene when he's at that college, giving that presentation about like showing him and his parents, and then he walks outside the auditorium, and that woman meets him. This was my son. He was in Sokovia, and now he's dead because of you guys.
And that actor, I don't forget her name, but she is actually going to be in Luke Cage.
Different character, but same actor.
No crossover. You think everything's connected with Marvel Cinematic Universe? This isn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you mention that, that's for sure true. And Scarlet Witch, she in Avengers: Age of Ultron showed Tony his worst nightmare, and it was Cap lying there dead among the other Avengers. But that's his worst nightmare.
Yeah, he wants to ensure that his friends will be alive and safe. Because he does, even though they fought in the movie, he does care about them. You could see that at the end of the movie.
And that was an emotional decision that led him to trying to kill Bucky in that point. It's not rational, it's irrational, but it's just the emotion of the moment.
It's sort of the same thing that we were talking earlier about Punisher. That Punisher, his family was killed, and he did everything. He's doing everything he can to find who killed his family, so he can kill them. And then Zemo shows that video of Bucky, because before that, Iron Man realizes, hey, I think I might be Team Cap per se now, and he comes to sort of make amends.
Yeah,
for what they've done. Yeah, then they're going in. He's like, all right, Zemo did cause all this. Okay, and he comes in. He shows that video of
I did not see that
mission
coming.
report.
Yeah, so I know we both saw that coming because we pretty much knew based on Winter Soldier that he killed the Stark.
Yeah.
But that was a big shocker for like my family when they went. So that was cool that they experienced that. I was shocked I was surprised that the Zemo had killed those other super soldiers.
Yeah, I was too. I was thinking like he's about to.
But it was a good twist
because earlier in the movie, Bucky goes to those flashbacks, and those super soldiers are just wearing him out.
Yeah,
and like Bucky is supposed to be the first super soldier, or the Winter Soldier, not super soldier. Sorry. Yeah, and they're just like, he can't stop them. And there was like 8 of them, or however many, I can't remember the number.
I think there's 5.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, man, he's about to unleash these guys, and this is going to be like madness.
Yeah,
but he just kills them. I'm like, wow, I didn't see that coming at all.
Yeah. I won't talk about Black Panther until we get to that, but they actually didn't know that they were able to put Spider-Man in there. That's why Black Panther was given such a higher role. It was supposed to be Spider-Man's role.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that it did so late with that deal with Sony and Marvel Disney.
Yeah.
Then we got so much more of Black Panther.
Yeah.
Movie. And I liked how one of the Russo brothers said it. They said, people say like, oh, they won't kill anyone off. and they say you don't have to kill people to show consequences.
Yeah, because
Basically,
obviously the team is
yeah,
fractured. They're in some rough shape right now.
it's pretty tragic,
Yeah,
and you just see it, and you're so invested. Like we talk about time, like you only care if you've seen a lot of the characters and get a lot of time with them, and we've seen so many movies with them, so you care so much
yeah.
that
And I
there's
and I and I think that scene where they're fighting at the end and they're just pounding each other's faces in, like, I mean, I probably would have been upset, like not upset at the movie if one of them would have died, but I think
there's too much money at stake.
yeah, I think it was like even more emotional that they didn't fight. Like when Tony says, "You don't deserve that shield. That was my father. My father made that shield," or whatever he says, and he just drops the shield. It's like, man, that really got me, man. I was just like, that's incredible. That was a crazy emotional scene
Yeah,
for
uh,
like like I almost came to tears. I was like, man, this is seeing these guys actually fight each other and beat each other down. It's like, man, it's just I would never thought I would have seen that.
hmm well, let's talk about Doctor Strange now.
Yeah,
So Benedict Cumberbatch is dubbed the Doctor, which I think is just amazing casting.
yeah,
Marvel is so well at that.
yeah. I don't question any casting they make now. If they think so and so is going to be the best actor for their certain
Just
role, I'm
work out.
just like, whatever, do your thing. I
Yeah,
don't care if they're black, white, Asian, purple, pink. I don't care. Just
and you just like what you said. It doesn't matter what race or gender they are because um, they have Tilda Swinton playing
the ancient one. Ancient one is a male in the comics.
definitely Asian, so
Yeah,
it works. She
yeah,
it convinces me. Um, so I think she'll be good at that, and I really like Mads Mikkelsen
yeah,
as as the villain in that movie. Just
yeah.
a huge Hannibal fan, and he is just impeccable
Yep.
at that role. And his eyes in it, that we see that
Hmm.
that picture just
Yeah,
looks so good.
yeah,
I think, and he said, "I'm not really like a typical villain. It's kind of like Fisk is like he is the villain, but he is trying to do good. But it's
yeah,
just the means of how he does it. So I think
yeah,
that'll be interesting to see that.
yeah. And another thing, talking about the casting, like the race of people,
Hmm
Baron Mordo,
Yeah, yeah.
white guy in the comics, or
Mhm.
Asian, whatever. They get can't even pronounce his name, and
I'm not even gonna try Chitwell
yeah,
like that, but he's a great actor.
yeah, he's been in a ton of great movies,
Yeah.
and especially this is the Wi-Fi password. We're not savages.
Oh yeah, that was great. Like, and that's what separates Marvel from DC. But
Yeah,
the recent DC trailer for Justice League, it looks like they're adding humor. Same with
yeah.
Wonder Woman, which I love because when you got guys flying around in capes and being superheroes, you gotta keep it light. You can't be too serious.
Something, something. I know this is off topic as well, but talking about Wonder Woman,
Hmm
did you not get like a Captain America First Avenger vibe off that?
Oh yeah, she is
Because
counterpart.
it's set in the I guess
One of the World Wars.
World War I or two, whichever one it was, and that's how Captain America was in the first one.
Yep.
Which I know she doesn't get frozen and unthawed 70 years later, but
Yeah.
that's just something I thought that was kind of interesting. I saw that trailer. I was like, how can I get a Captain America First Avenger vibe off this one?
Yeah.
Which I think
Sure.
I mean I think they can do good with their movies. They're kind of rushing it.
They're yeah, they did I think they did rush it, but they're also
they're trying to play catch up to Marvel, which they
They're
don't
trying to
have
go in a
to.
different direction because of what happened with Batman vs Superman, which I
Yeah,
like.
yeah, that's good. I mean,
I like it so far.
you should listen to what the fans are saying,
Yeah,
most
for sure.
definitely, because that's what Marvel does. I mean,
Yeah,
they might not listen to every single detail, because
yeah.
I mean, if you did
What are
that,
the
then
people?
if you did that, you would try to please everyone and you end up with a bad result. But
Yeah,
they at least listen to the majority outcry of what the fans want and
yeah.
make the best movie possible.
And another thing about Doctor Strange, I think I think will pretty much the Eye of Agamotto is an
An
Infinity
Infinity
Stone
Stone,
in
yeah.
there, either time or mind. I could see it being time.
I'm thinking it's the Time Stone because of the Ancient One. Something that I heard from someone else talking about the Ancient One says, "I've been searching all over time for you."
Yes, yeah.
So
I think that was in the trailer.
yeah, it was in the second
Yeah.
trailer,
So yeah, that would make sense. And um,
and one of the abilities of Doctor Strange is time travel.
yeah, we're gonna get mystical. We'll see how it goes. And I mean, it's definitely in there because Thanos is an acrostic of where the Infinity Stone is. T Tesseract.
Yeah,
We don't know. A Ether and Necklace for
I yep,
Agamotto, I
yep,
believe. O Orb, S Scepter with the Mind Stone.
yeah.
So I don't know what H will be. But I think it'll.
Something that I've heard about H would be him, which is the
Yes,
soul. It's actually the Soul Stone, and that would be
which is
him
Adam
is
Warlock.
Adam Warlock,
Yeah,
which would be, I don't know if he'll just possess it or he'll actually kind of like a vision type of deal where it's
yeah,
a part of him in a
yeah.
way.
Um, and then also Doctor Strange from the trailers, it kind of looks like a Inception meets Marvel, and that kind of connects. We talk about time travel. I think we'll get the introduction of the multiverse,
Yeah,
which will
most
be
definitely.
awesome because you can just go anywhere,
Oh
which
yeah,
can keep going forever. And I just want it to keep going, you know. And
yeah,
Kevin Feige has said, I mean, we got to plan up to 2025, you know.
yeah. And
So,
I've heard before that they've had a plan up to 2028.
yeah,
So I mean, they got something, and like especially with Doctor Strange, you got Robert Downey Jr. is getting old.
hmm
You got some of these actors run their contracts are running out, and you want to keep these same characters going. Which I mean, you could have Captain America going for a while with Falcon and Bucky,
oh yeah,
but like Iron Man, somehow with Doctor Strange opening up to the multiverse,
yeah.
somehow getting a different Iron Man, a different Tony Stark, or whoever is Iron Man, somehow ends up in this, I guess, reality, or they go there and a whole series, like a soft reboot type of thing with that.
And just like in the new, they've revived Iron Man. Iron Man is now a 15-year-old black girl
Yeah,
who
yeah,
made her suit in her dorm room. Uh,
yeah,
so I think I dig that. I
yeah,
think it'd be cool. And speaking of him, we may have, when going to Guardians, we may have, it's rumored that the
yeah,
counterpart to Adam Warlock is going to be the villain in Guardians,
yeah,
which I'm sure you can agree. I'm excited about that because that means, I mean, if you have her, you got to have him.
yeah.
So, and I think they said that Cocoon and Guardians was not Adam Warlock's, but we'll see.
I've heard differently that it is him.
Some
That
is,
is his,
yeah,
because apparently in what is in the first Guardians, the Howard the Duck scene,
hmm
it shows, I guess, pans around and the cocoon's open
yes,
and there's nobody there.
yeah. There's got to be something to that.
Yeah, I mean they could just, because there's been in the past to be like, oh, that's not what that means, that's not what's going on, and then all of a sudden it's like, yeah, that's actually what happened.
Yeah, and we got another character in there, Guardians Mantis.
Yeah,
We've seen in some promotional photos, and and apparently, I mean, she was made as well, and she just or she hasn't had any contact with other living organisms. So
Yeah,
I think the interactions, like the Guardians teaching her how to interact with other people,
yeah, that's gonna be hilarious.
oh yeah, Rocket will just be telling the wrong things.
Because
Drax will be so literal.
what I heard in the interview, it was either James Gunn or Dave Batista. It was one of the two. I can't remember. I think it was Dave Batista talked about her and that she's been running around with Ego.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I
that's
love that casting
yeah,
with Kurt Russell,
yeah,
Living Planet, Ego.
mm,
And then I was like, how is he his dad? But he's can make humanoid forms of him,
yeah,
like an avatar. So that makes sense.
yeah. And I just want to see a floating planet with Kurt Russell's face on it.
Yeah. And Star Lord's reaction that this is my
Yeah,
dad.
my
That,
dad is a planet,
yeah.
which would be crazy.
So I'm excited about that movie, and the Comic-Con trailer description just sounds amazing.
Yeah,
The So Rocket and Yondu are locked up, and little baby Groot is intellectually a child, and he gets out of the cage. The Ravager's gonna mutiny, and
yeah,
and so he's getting them stuff, and he brings back like a finger, um,
yeah.
just like
Brings
a
back an
bunch.
eyeball.
Yeah, an eyeball, um, and then he eventually comes back with the new little Finn prototype, and then
Yeah, for
Yondu
Yondu.
Ham, and then the new Volume 2 of
Yeah,
Guardians starts playing, so it just sounds really
yeah. I had to go look up the songs because James Gunn told us what the two songs were in the trailer, so I had to
I
go
haven't
look it
looked
up.
up yet. I need to.
I went and looked them up. And I was like, man, that's totally
Yeah.
Guardians for sure.
Yeah, so next thing, next movie coming out is Spider-Man Homecoming,
Yep.
which I mean, you
Set
agree,
photos look amazing.
everyone agrees Tom Holland just killed it
Yeah,
in Civil War. Everyone's sold on him, just Marvel being Marvel.
my favorite Spider-Man so far, and he's only was in the movie for what 15, 20 minutes.
Like 22 minutes, something like that.
Yeah,
And I really liked in Civil War when he was funny, and
yeah,
quippy. Um,
because
which he's the way he is in the comics. So
yeah, because
I love that.
because like the Tobey Maguire and the Andrew Garfield. Yeah, he might have been a little.
Garfield got closer.
Yeah, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, what I could remember, he never really cracked jokes when he was fighting.
Yeah,
He was a lot more serious, kind of like upset because his uncle died, so he kind of kept that burden on him.
yeah,
But Andrew Garfield was a little bit more closer to. I mean, he cracked some jokes, but it wasn't at the level what I would expect. Like Spider-Man is a toned down version of Deadpool.
yeah. He's Deadpool. That's
That's what they said they wanted Deadpool to be, was a more rated R version of Spider-Man.
hmm
So like Spider-Man, he's fighting and he's just cracking. He's not taking it serious in a way.
yeah,
He's
because he's a teenager, which is
yeah, which is perfect. He's 15 years old. We want 15-year-old Spider-Man, Peter
Yeah.
Parker.
and that's why everyone loves him because he's the most relatable because he's just a kid.
We don't want a Spider-Man rushed out of high school and off to college or whatever.
And speaking of that, I don't know what year he's going to start in high school, but I've heard a rumor that they're going to make it like the Harry Potter series, kind of going through school with them.
Yeah.
So I think that would be really cool.
What I think it is when it comes to Homecoming, he'll be a sophomore.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
Civil War, he was a freshman.
Okay.
So when he gets to
Yeah, that tons of.
yeah. So when we get to Homecoming, he'll be a sophomore.
Okay.
So the second movie, he may be a junior or a senior or something. We don't know.
Probably a junior because you can't go to Homecoming unless you're a junior.
Yeah.
Unless he gets ass, and he probably get ass. He's Spider-Man, but no one knows that.
Yeah, that's true.
But Yeah, they just cast like so many people in this movie, which
And I
is it's
and
just
I like and I like
crazy.
how they're getting actual young actors instead of getting older actors to play younger parts.
Yeah, so they can keep going for a while.
Yeah,
Um, Speaking
like
of casting, they cast Tony Revo
yeah,
Laurie
yeah,
from the Grand Budapest Hotel as Flash Thompson, and I don't know what they're doing with that. I trust them, but I don't know. I mean, he's not even taller than Tom Holland, and he's
yeah,
supposed to be like some big guy, big jock.
yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if they're gonna do like Venom with him or not.
Yeah,
We'll see. But I mean, I hope they do.
and I mean, I hope they do Venom and hopefully eventually Carnage. It was something we've
Oh
never
yeah,
seen in movies. Like I need that. I thought Michael Mando from Better Call Saul um, would have played that part. And I played Far Cry 3. He's the villain, and he's just sadistic, and he
yeah,
would be perfect Carnage. But I've heard he's going to be Shocker, uh,
yeah,
which
yep,
is disappointing, but still, I mean, I trust what they're doing.
yeah,
And the director's John Watts,
hmm,
who did Cop Car,
yeah,
um, and the Clown, which I've seen a trailer. I mean, it looks scary, but I just look at that trailer and I'm like, it's a horror movie about a clown, you know. And I'm like, this guy's doing Spider-Man: Homecoming. I know, um, I know Marvel's doing their thing, and I think they've had. I mean, they've had people do comedies
it's like
that,
yeah, it's like with the Russo brothers. Everybody's like, oh, they
yeah,
did comedy TV shows. They're gonna come direct Captain America.
yeah, they did Arrested Development.
Yeah,
Actually showed the Bluthmobile in the airport scene
yeah, and
in the
it's
background. So
and they crushed it with the two movies they've done.
yeah,
Those are by far my they're in my top five.
hmm
Both of them, Winter Soldier and Civil War.
and I think I trust them what they're doing, and I love how Michael Keaton is going to be the Vulture. I think that's going to
Mhm.
be amazing.
Yeah,
Rumored to be make it. I think probably the Tinkerer. Um,
yeah,
maybe uses the old leftover Chitauri technology to make
yeah.
his wings and suit and stuff. So I think that would be really cool.
And
Michael
then
Keaton,
they
great
may
actor.
have some blueprint to the Falcon exo suit,
Yeah, something like that.
so they might use it that way. And Vulture, the suit is supposed to keep him young. Or no, no, I'm sorry. It's I can't. No, I can't remember. It's like he ages really fast or something when he wears a suit or something like that.
Okay.
So we'll see how that goes. That should probably be very interesting if they play
So,
off that.
so I'm not a big fan of the Spider-Man logo. Like, I mainly don't like the little spider thing face in
Like
the.
the I like the word the Spider Man because
Yeah, that's
I
cool.
know what they're going for because that was like one of the original Spider Man logos like
I like
fonts.
with that O. I don't like how they changed that
Yeah,
O and come.
like this the homecoming thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of it's all right. I mean, take it or leave it.
And speaking of atrocious logos, we'll go to the Thor Ragnarok logo,
Yeah,
which looks like it's from a I don't know, a 80s video game.
Power Rangers.
I don't know what they were thinking. And you said it was like kind of it's homage to the comics. Um,
You know, it's kind of because
in the original.
like the Ragnarok storyline. I think it was an
Yeah.
'80s or early '90s type of.
Yeah.
I think that's when that storyline took place. So
Yeah.
it kind of like serve as a retro type logo, I guess.
It
But
just
I mean,
kind of fit what I think the movie is going to be.
yeah, yeah, I agree with you on that. It's kind of like if it was a more. 'Cause, I mean, they've said they want some jokes in the movie,
Yeah.
but
But we're talking about the
but
Norse
Ragnar,
apocalypse. That's
yeah,
what Ragnarok.
Ragnarok should be. Well, I know it will be that
Hmm
because they've had to go change directors, and I think they have more like hands on approach with this movie because they want this movie to, like Kevin Feige said on that Marvel event a few years ago, like this movie is supposed to kind of be the Winter Soldier of Phase 3, where after that movie everything's going to be changed.
And I think maybe that means Thor finds out about Thanos' plan.
Yeah.
And he's already kind of looking into it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have Black Panther after that, and then Avengers. So I think that's like it's so close to the Avengers Part 1, Infinity War. Well, it's not called Part 1. It's Avengers Infinity War.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's maybe why it has such huge implications.
Yeah.
And I love we'll show this picture of Carl Urban of Scourge.
Yeah.
And he looks great as it. And I think I'm not a huge fan of him in Star Trek. I just don't believe his accent.
Yeah.
His accent's very good, but I loved him in Judge Dredd. So I think in that kind of different attitude type character, I think he'll do great at.
And he's been in a lot of other good movies too. I mean, he's a good actor. So.
Oh yeah.
And going back to Marvel, they usually cast right.
Yeah. And another thing, I mean, just like we're talking about like diversity, I mean, Marvel cast Tessa Thompson from Creed.
Yep.
She did great in that as Valkyrie.
Yep.
Just like a blonde white woman. And they were just like, no, she's great. We're going to cast her. So we got a new love interest. Sorry, Jane Foster.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like Jane. I mean, I don't care about Jane Foster. She can, whatever. I don't care.
She's not a demigod.
No, even though she is Thor now, but
yeah.
I've always wanted Thor to be with Sif.
Yeah.
Because I mean, she's like so loyal to him and would do anything for him. She would die for him, but he's just like, I'm going to be with someone from Midgard.
Yeah. And I love the casting of Cate Blanchett as Hela.
Yep.
Which is she's in charge of death. And I've been thinking maybe she'll be the representation of death.
Yeah.
So
I'm starting to think that a little bit more. Think that more now.
Yeah.
As we get farther and farther along.
And that goes with what we said. Maybe this is when he finds about Thanos' plan.
Yeah.
If she's there too. Yeah. I've also heard that maybe they actually may have a physical embodiment of death. Yeah. I think it's more believable for movie-wise to have Hela play of hell, basically.
Yeah.
Recently, the Searcher is going to be in it, which just looks amazing. Like, if they do it, just big old fire demon.
Man.
Fighting Thor, I think will be amazing.
Because I don't think, I mean, even though Hela, she is like the ruler of the domain of hell for like Asgards and everything else, but like I don't think her on her own, like her and Scourge could just come in and bring the apocalypse of Asgard.
She's got to have manpower.
Yeah, like
and obviously
Surtur should come in and like wreak havoc.
Yeah. And she's got to have, I mean, I think she'll totally hook up with Loki. They'll be in on it together.
Yeah.
But in the end, I think Loki will come around and be like, Thanos is going to kill everyone. And I think he'll be good.
Because I know Loki knows I guess in a way knows what Thanos' scheme is.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because he was sent to Earth in the first Avengers as a part of Thanos's, I guess, team or his little Boy Scout, if you'd say.
Yeah. And also we just talk about what we've rumored to hear the plot line of Thor Ragnarok is. Just sounds amazing when we have Thor and he's just stripped, his hammer's destroyed. Loki and Hela do that, and he's banished to a gladiatorial planet, and has his head shaven, his beautiful locks. I know they're probably, but and then he fights through all these battles, and then the last person's Thor. And just seeing with him with his armor, I can't wait.
You mean Hulk?
Oh yeah, Hulk.
Yeah.
And I think, I don't think the armor, like, it doesn't even have a purpose besides looking awesome.
Yeah.
But he's been Hulk so long, he recognizes Thor, and they escape.
Yeah.
And it's a buddy space trip film as they go together and win back Asgard, which I think will just be amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, I really want to see Unworthy Thor.
Mm-hmm.
Like from the recent run in the comics where he's carrying an axe around.
Okay.
And he's just like a savage, which would be just amazing.
Yeah, I would like to see him go down that path too.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
So what's the next? So next movie's Black Panther.
Yeah. Super excited.
So we already know a good bit about that though.
Yeah.
Because we've seen Black Panther in his movie.
Yep.
And we got a post-credit scene,
mm-hmm.
which showed there, so we know Bucky's there. And you said, I think it'll also be very interesting to see what role Bucky plays in there.
Mm-hmm.
If they'll use him, they may not. Mind, it's not very good.
He may not be in the movie per se, but the idea of him being there and the rest of the Wakandans finding out that everybody thought Bucky killed the king of Wakanda.
Yeah.
So
I think that could be the conflict.
So they could be like, so that might be why
Eric Killmonger.
Eric Killmonger is like, hey,
yeah,
well, I'm going to fight you now because you're keeping this guy here.
Yeah,
and you're friends with these guys now. Like, what's the deal?
And you're talking about Eric Killmonger, which is rumored to be played by.
It's been confirmed that Michael B. Jordan is playing him. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. I mean, welcome Michael B. Jordan.
No more.
Chris Evans can tell you firsthand. It's better on the Disney side than the Fox side.
Yeah, no more Human Torch.
Yeah. And they also cast Michonne from The Walking Dead.
Yep.
As part of the Dora Milaje. I don't know how to pronounce that, but she, if you watch The Walking Dead, I mean, she is a samurai. She will be perfect in that. So I think it'll be interesting to see what is Captain doing, because I feel like Black Panther is the benefactor now for like
the Secret
Captain
Avengers
and the team.
Yeah,
Secret Avengers.
Because I think I'm pretty sure they're all there. Like, all he broke out of prison. Maybe not all of them, but like maybe he's like Scarlet Witch and who else? Hawkeye maybe. I don't know. Hawkeye might have went home. Who knows? I don't know. Ant-Man maybe.
He probably retired.
Yeah, that's true. Again, but just pretty much who all was in that prison took to Wakanda. It's like, here's this hideout. I don't know if they'll still be there or not. Maybe not. I don't know. But that would be something to.
Yeah.
That might be why there's conflict, because Eric Killmonger, he's a.
Yeah. So that
Wakandan.
takes us. You're breaking up a little bit. I was just waiting.
Okay. Yeah, I'm done.
We can just take this part out.
Yeah, we'll just edit that out.
Okay. Yeah, and I think it'll be cool to see like what Captain America becomes. And we've talked about before. He'll drop the America and he'll just be the captain.
Yeah.
Or he might don the name Nomad, but there's no way he's going to be dressed up like what he was in the comics. But I think it'll be cool what they get him. What kind of
Yeah,
suit?
yeah,
Also, I think it'll be cool to see Ulysses Claw,
yep,
played by Andy Serkis, um, teaming up with Eric Killmonger.
yeah,
So I think that'll be a cool team up. So that'll lead right into Avengers Infinity War. So it's no longer part one, it's Infinity War, so that's the title.
hmm
And we've talked about this before. We think it'll be, I mean, the Russo brothers are doing it, and they did Civil War, so they'll kind of reconcile. The team will have to reconcile Tony and Captain.
yeah. Because they've made it clear that the what's happened from Civil War is not over. Like it's gonna keep going. Like the arc of that and the effects.
And it'll have to be a threat so great that they'll have to work together again.
Yeah.
So that'll be cool. And we've said before that, I mean, by the time it's too late, they might have a moment from the comics, which we really hope, where Thanos snaps his fingers.
Yeah. Wipes out half the universe. Yep.
Just poof.
Yeah.
And I think that would be a cool way to end that movie.
Yeah.
But it probably won't, because, I mean, now that they're changing the name of the second one,
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope they don't resolve it in the first movie.
No, they
I
shouldn't.
hope it ends like that, and then they resolve it in the second movie.
Yeah, I don't think they will.
Yeah. And I would love to see the Black Order
Mm-hmm.
in there. You got the Dwarf. You got Ebony Maw. I love to see that team
Yeah.
help them out in Avengers Infinity War.
Yeah. And I mean, I hope you see like some TV characters come on in some way.
Yeah.
Just to let us know, hey, this is connected. Because I mean, we know it's connected by like Sif's been on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. a few times. Some other like Coulson, obviously, Sitwell. But yeah, I would like to see maybe like some of the Defenders maybe show up in a minor role. Maybe somebody off Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which I don't know. It probably won't happen.
Yeah, and thanks for mentioning that, because I thought it was a good idea. If maybe see if you brought the Black Order, it's like his minions, kind of his team. You could have Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and you could have the Defenders fight.
Yeah.
A couple of those hero villains.
Yeah.
At the same time, so I think that would be cool.
Like have parts where the, I guess, more street level guys are fighting on Earth than your big name guys like Iron Man and
different battles.
Vision or whoever else go into space.
Yeah.
And like meet up with the Guardians somehow, or the Guardians come to Earth and then they go to space or whatever. I don't know how they're going to do it, but it'd be a really cool moment.
Mm-hmm.
Or something cool to do.
Oh yeah. And then we go to Ant-Man and the Wasp and Captain Marvel, and they're so far in the future, we don't know anything about them.
Yeah, just
except who's in it.
Yeah.
Kind of like, I mean, we know Brie Larson. I think it's a great casting as Captain Marvel. It'll be great having a girl be in a lead role.
Yeah.
Super powerful. So I know they'll do great with it.
Like Captain Marvel should be like Superman type power, almost.
Yeah.
That strong. So, because I mean, you got Scarlet Witch. Like comic book Scarlet Witch is not as like powerful as movie Scarlet Witch, which she's toned down a lot. But I want to see someone who's like something haven't done with Thor is he's been toned down a bit in a way, like with the movies compared to his comic counterpart. And I want to see, like, I would also like to see his powers be like amplified a little bit in Ragnarok because he's going to need a lot of power. And I want Captain Marvel to be like stupid powerful.
Mm-hmm.
And that'd be so cool to see from a female character.
Oh,
They
for
would
sure.
like fly around, energy projection, like just punching the crap out of people, which would be just awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, she'll have Kree power, so she better be powerful.
Yeah, and I think Ant-Man and Wasp. I mean, that'll be great to see the Wasp become a hero. I don't know what kind of storyline and villain they're gonna have. They'll think of some of them, and they have so much lore and comics of Ant-Man, so they'll have tons to choose from.
And I'm sure that movie would be super hilarious because I mean it's Paul Rudd.
Oh yeah,
Paul
let
Rudd,
him be him.
Yeah, especially I mean he had his moments in Civil War. It's like, man, this is hilarious. So I'm sure it'll be funny, and it'll be a good movie.
And then we have a slot.
Do what?
And then we have a slum, which is after Avengers 4, I guess.
Yeah.
Which is an Inhuman slum.
Yeah.
And you said, and I think they're going to push it back, and you think they're going to make there's a deal coming with Fox and Marvel Disney.
Yeah, probably. I mean, a lot that I've heard is something's going down. We just don't know when. We don't know what it's going to be. We don't know if it's going to be Fantastic Four or whatnot. And
I think that would be awesome if they made Fantastic Four right there.
Yeah.
And I think it would be cool if they did a deal just like Sony did with Spider-Man. So they realized they can make more money with just giving them creative control.
Yeah, exactly. Letting them share, I guess, the character.
Yeah.
Just letting Marvel here, you get the directors, get the actors, write the script, whatever, and then we'll just back you up with a budget.
Yeah.
And then we can split the profits however we choose to.
And I'm really looking forward to Inhumans. Like, I know it'll happen eventually. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., it's awesome.
Yeah.
I have a question. So all these events are happening, like, and this is after even Infinity War. Where were the Inhumans this whole time? So I'm wondering how they're going to fit them in, because apparently in the comics, I mean, they're living in Attila, which is on Earth. It's an island, but they're shrouded somehow. But so they don't get discovered. But where were they when Thanos wiped off half the galaxy? So I'm just interested how they'll do that. I was thinking maybe either, I don't know, they don't care, or maybe they're somewhere else in space.
Yeah, they've had to, like, they've been on Earth in the past, and they've had like a little, I guess Attila was on the moon in the past, so and like the Inhumans are so secluded, like even on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., when they found out where their that little secret base, just those Inhumans were, they were like so upset. Like nobody knew where they were at until Daisy was there, and then I guess they had a tracker. I can't remember what it was. They tracked her somehow, or she sent a signal or something. But like they're so secluded, and they only care about themselves.
Yeah, and maybe they don't view themselves as humans anymore, so they think of them. They don't feel accountable to protect. Yeah, I could see that.
Which would be, I mean,
which is interesting.
Somehow they'll come to light where everybody knows that hey, there's this big city somewhere that has all these Inhumans that we've been seeing popping up.
Yeah.
And then,
because they're different Inhumans from the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show, because they weren't, these people were born that way, and they got a lineage.
Yeah, they were chosen. Like you have to be chosen.
Never human.
Yeah, you have to be chosen to get your powers.
Yeah.
Like you don't just
Or an accident in Shield.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like Shield did the Terrigen bomb story in a way. I mean, it wasn't they obviously wasn't a Terrigen bomb went off, but they did the fish oil thing,
Yeah.
which was I mean that was a cool way to do it. But where all these Inhumans start popping up and everybody's like, "Whoa, what's going on? Who are these people?"
Yeah.
And I get I but something I've thought about is what if Black Bolt hears about this? Like, hey, all these Inhumans have been popping up. I need to
He
do
must
something
not.
about
He
it.
must not have connections. They must be so secluded they don't even hear about it.
Yeah, and then I'm just thinking like somehow he
Takes
finds
them.
out
Yeah.
and is like, whoa, I need to do something about this. So that's how they come into the light of what's going on.
Yeah.
Like everybody knows that there's like this big city of a royal family of
Yeah.
Inhumans.
And that's the thing. They may feel like entitled because not only are they Inhumans and they think they're probably better than us.
Yeah.
No, they're humans. They're like we're royalty.
Yeah.
That's why they haven't involved themselves.
Yeah. We're kings and queens and prince
Yeah.
and princesses and everything like that.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting.
Yeah, it'll be very good. I don't know when they'll do it, but yeah, it's going to happen. They're going to have to make that movie since they've been playing it out on Shield so much.
Oh yeah.
Because I mean, you're not going to bring Black Bolt and Medusa and Gorgon and all them on
Karnak.
Shield. Yeah, you're not going to bring them on Shield.
Yeah.
They deserve a movie.
Oh yeah. But at least the people that have seen the show are familiar with Inhumans, so
Yeah,
it'll be an extra added bonus to the whole thing.
yeah. But I mean, I'm sure there's people out there that haven't watched the show and they'll be like, when this comes out, like, who are these people?
Yeah.
So,
and if you haven't, listeners, then watch it.
Yeah, you need to watch all of it.
Yeah.
Because you're getting to the point now in the MCU, especially in the movies, where if you go to a movie, you're going to be lost. You're like, I don't understand what any of this means.
You know, I heard one of my friends took someone to Civil War and they liked it, and they hadn't seen anything.
Yeah.
So that's encouraging.
Like Civil War was one of the movies that I heard was in a way was kind of like the opposite of what I just said. Like people could go watch that movie and be like, okay, I understand what's going on, I guess, in a way. Like it was a good movie. But
which you wouldn't really expect.
Yeah. But like something like with Age of Ultron, that was like something I've heard was people saw the first Avengers. They didn't see Thor: The Dark World. They didn't see Iron Man 3. They didn't see Winter Soldier. They didn't see Guardians.
So they don't understand why he's doing that.
Yeah, then they come in to Age of Ultron and they're like, what? What is this? I don't understand what's going on. Why is Thor talking about these Infinity Stone things? I don't know what this is.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
that was one thing that I heard about that. So I mean, we're getting to. I mean, maybe Doctor Strange might not be that way. It might be something that can stand alone. I think it will.
Mm-hmm.
But there will be parts in there where you're like, yeah, what is he talking about? I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
And it's referencing the past movies.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Well, that's all I got.
Yep, that's all I got too. Pretty much. I'm just very excited for Phase 3.
Oh yeah. Keep the phases coming.
Because that's what they've been building up to ever since 2008. Iron Man shows up, and then you would never thought back in 2008 that all these people would get together, all these Avengers, and then all this will be 20 something movies and shows in to a whole universe where this big culminating event's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like back in 2008, I'd known who Iron Man. I've heard of Iron Man, but I wasn't like I didn't have as much knowledge as I do now because I was just a high school kid. I was like, oh, a superhero movie, Iron Man. I've heard of Iron Man. Let's go watch it. Why not? And now I'm just like I'm so invested in it and like learned so much about all these characters. I'm like, man, this is so cool to see something like this happen in our age, where like you can go to a movie theater and see this. It's like a TV show where the episodes are every 6 months or so apart.
Yeah.
So we're like on episode 13 or whatever it is of the movies. And this whole entire storyline.
And the cinematic universes, I think, is really cool. I think some people are trying to do it, and it's not an idea. I mean, I think DC, it makes sense because they have a lot of material to work with, but I mean, like Ghostbusters.
Yeah, like a lot of like people.
Joe, Transformers.
Yeah, people are trying to make Transformers mixed with like G.I. Joe or something or whatever it was. I can't remember. Or Ninja Turtles and something.
None of this makes sense.
Yeah.
They just need to stop. I mean, they're making a Play-Doh movie.
Yeah.
There's no storyline to that. What? I don't know.
Play-Doh.
We'll see.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for another episode where we discuss future things of Marvel or
Phase 4.
Yeah, Phase 4, most definitely, or other things on our channel that we hope to bring, like trailer reactions or breaking news, top 10 lists, whatever it may be. We'll keep it coming. Hopefully, you guys share, like the videos, and leave comments. Start a discussion in the comment section. And yeah, we'll catch you guys later.
Peace.